It's magnificent stuff, as you guys are about to see. And you're in for a real treat, because not only is he going to show us and share his fantastic wisdom with us, but he's also going to allow us to use the iPads he brought from his school to really get a hands-on demonstration with it. So one big round of applause, and
thanks. Thank you so much. Thanks. It's a great introduction. I feel like I shouldn't even say anything else now. So we are gonna do the main impetus or focus of this is gonna be hands-on, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of what my students do when they use the iPads and how they make music. And then we're gonna just really kind of give you a chance to acclimate yourselves to the iPads. Before I start, I'm just curious, it looks like we may have a wide range of people from kind of different places and so on. Are we special needs educators? Raise our hands if we are. Okay, are we music educators? Okay, so many of you are both. Okay, has anyone used any sort of technology, even Wi-Fi, or anything else? Okay, a little bit. For some of you are raising your hands pretty strongly. So good, and specifically iPads. Anyone has used an iPad for music or not, for anything, iPad? Okay, good. So it looks like for a few of you, we'll just, when we get to that part of the presentation, I'll just go over some of the basics, and then we'll move on, because they are pretty easy to operate, but of course feel free to ask questions. So that's me. I really believe very strongly that music is for everybody. Playing music is for everybody, and everyone is capable to some degree or another. If anything, if I've learned anything in my 21 years of working with severely challenged students, it's that anyone can do it. You need supports. You need to provide the supports, but we can give everybody that wonderful music making experience. Yes. So please reach out to me. I may be going too fast, or I may not be going fast enough, and you want more. Whatever it is, you can feel free to reach out to me via email. You're going to be seeing some videos briefly of the band that Steve and Gary went to see at the Apple Soho store, the PS-177 Technology Band. They do have some songs on iTunes if you want to check them out. If you download them, any funds through purchases go directly to my school. Vimeo, we have a Vimeo page. I like to talk also a little bit about ASEC, the Arts and Special Education Consortium, because as we all know, I'm sure this is why we're here, it's not just the technology, it's the arts, specifically music for me, but the arts in general are very powerful. They can really empower our students and level the playing field so that they can participate with everybody. So that's what the Arts and Special Education Consortium is about. That's some way to find out more about us. And the bottom one, sorry it's so ugly if you want to take a picture, but that's the Dropbox link to this keynote that I'm going to show you. Okay, so yes. This is the band. We went to Washington, D.C. for International Education Week about 1.5 years ago. We played 3 songs, and we did use the more traditional instruments that you see in the background on the stage there. And this is our final number, which featured all iPads. They're triggering sounds that are inside Logic Pro, where you see my computer over here. So they're triggering sounds. That's kind of a very advanced way of using the iPads, but this is just an example more to show you how this really empowers the students. And when we do the iPad stuff, we'll be getting into more of the basics of how to use some of the apps. But just so you know, this is how we're doing it. It's triggering apps inside of Logic Pro, inside of my computer. So, and this is Ness and Dorma. Everyone actually except this student is triggering apps, sounds inside of the Mac. But this student is using an app called Thumb Jam, which will be the first one that we explore, and that's the guitar sound. So he has like the solo. So here we go. So even though they're not playing the actual orchestral instruments, they're getting that orchestral ensemble experience, even following the conductor, which might be hard to do if I'm conducting. But okay, so yeah, and after all that, this is really the best part. Is sorry, I always get choked up with this. Just the acknowledgement, the recognition, the support from the audience. Unfortunately, as if you're working with special needs students, a lot of times they're not going to get experiences like that. So that's my greatest honor. But beyond that, it's great that they learned to follow a conductor and got an orchestral kind of ensemble experience. But I'm really into, again, especially, I think this applies to everyone, especially these days, but especially to my students, we really need to get them to have the confidence to represent themselves, to be advocates, to speak up about their needs. These are students who not are only special needs, but they're also, many of them, almost all of them in the band, are minority students. So, they're going to get it from both ends unless they learn to stand up for themselves. So to me, what you're going to see next, this is a little musical microcosm of democracy. Of a real grassroots kind of thing where everyone is cooperating together. Everyone is learning that they have their part, they have their voice, and yet everyone else has theirs too. And if you just let all those voices combine together and everyone is listening and participating together, well, really good things can happen. So I kind of present it that way to them. And they understand that there's something much more to this than just, okay, we're playing music.
Yeah, was each iPad programmed to just do one thing in what we just saw? Each person holding the iPad was only doing one instrument, or?
No, there were several. It was using a a MIDI controller app, so I could program, you know, several instruments and chords sometimes at the same time. That's the only way I could do it with only 9 students. I'd love to, yes, one more, yes.
So also, can you also just use Logic Band, which is, I know it's a smaller version of Logic, to also say you didn't have to maybe give capabilities to access pretty much the same time?
Absolutely, we're getting to that. Yes, absolutely. And again, that was kind of a specialized, advanced way of using it that you know, I just worked to get to that place where I could do that. But I'm going to show you more just direct audio examples as well. And as a matter of fact, this one is mostly the 4 students that are improvising freely are using the Thumb Jam app again. And then you'll see GarageBand, and you'll see MIDI Touch, which is the app that everyone else besides that one soloist was using in Nessun Dorma. You'll see 2 students using MIDI Touch to trigger, again, other sounds. But besides the drummer and the bass player who plays a repetitive bass line, all the other students are on their own. They're improvising freely. So here we go. So he can pick any one of those squares he wants, and he's found really creative ways of doing that. And this is the other 4 students playing Thumb Jam. Concept to teach them, which I'm very proud that they're really starting to get it, is space, the musical space. And they've really learned to let that happen in wonderful ways.
Sounds like Joe's out.
But I'm just skipping ahead a little bit. The whole performance is good, but just to save time. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Thanks so much. So that's great. So these are some of the apps we'll be working on. We're going to start with Jam. I'm going to just ask you guys to kind of help me distributing. So because I'm coming from like a jazz background, I mean, I have a degree in classical piano, but I never really spent any more time than I had to playing classical because I really wanted to do jazz. If I had a chance to do it over again, by the way, I would just skip the whole classical thing. They ingrained it into your head that, yes, exactly, classical is the foundation, but, and especially since we're here with the Little Kids Rock organization, we know that we can learn a tremendous amount of musical skill and musical knowledge without classical. There's plenty of great music out there besides classical. If you love classical, I would never tell you not to play, but don't impose that on people that they have to play classical. So, because I am coming from a jazz place also, what you saw with that last video, it did involve some kind of sophisticated jazz concepts, harmonic or theoretical concepts. But you don't have to go that way.